Okay, first let's get started with the knockoff Trijicon RMR. This is the $40 imported from China knockoff RMR. You can see that it is supposedly an RM06. It's pretty funny because it has the patent numbers. It says made in the USA, which is obviously wrong, and Trijicon logo on the side. The buttons are pretty tactile and clicky, which is very nice. And it comes on a rail, which is more expensive from the real Trijicon copy. Now, if you notice, the windage is it's using an Allen wrench, an Allen key to adjust. The same thing goes with left and right adjustments. On the real deal, it uses a flathead screwdriver to adjust. Now, the aluminum itself that it's made out of is much softer than the Trijicon product. You can see I've scratched it here with a knife to see. I've scratched it all over here to see, how it would hold up to some abuse. And it's really crappy. The other thing to note is the actual dot is very has a very starburst look to it. It is not a crisp dot at all. So when you're looking at it close, when your eye is about, when you're using this on a rifle and your eye is very close to it, the dot is very pronounced, very round, no problem. When you put this on a handgun, it starbursts and basically takes up the whole display. So this is absolutely useless for a handgun. Now, I've mounted it on my Glock and I used it on my Glock to see how it would work, and it worked pretty good for about 150 rounds, and then it started to drift. And then after that, it started to drift so much that I couldn't get it back and stay true. It basically drifted so much that I couldn't get it back on my iron sights. So it was way too far up, way too far to the left, and I couldn't adjust it any further. Now let's compare the actual Trijicon RMR to the knockoff one. And you can see they've done a pretty good job of copying Trijicon. You can see the patent is different. Here's where you're really going to see the difference. You can see the machining is a lot better on the actual Trijicon product. The edges are much rounder. This has like a soft touch feel to it. This feels like just regular anodized aluminum. That's probably why it scratches a lot easier. And here on the right side, you can see the adjustment knob is different. The size is actually different. The Trijicon RMR, the real one, is larger than the knockoff one. It's kind of hard to tell on camera because it's a minor size difference, but it is smaller. And now you can see the Trijicon dot. See how round it is? Now it's obviously massive because it's a camera lens picking it up, but the dot is actually much more pronounced in the Trijicon one. The knockoff one is off right now, so you can't see it. It's very hard to get the camera to show what the knockoff one looks like. Now the funny thing is, both RMRs fit on my Glock. This is a Glock 19, whereas the real RMR fits very snug. The alignment posts on the knockoff one do not fit. So if you have your Glock slide machined with alignment posts, which everyone should, the knockoff one will probably not fit, whereas the real one does. There's 5 brightness modes on the knockoff one. There's, I believe, 8, and this also has an adjustable one where it will automatically adjust based on the lighting conditions it sees, which is pretty nice. and shooting it, this one stays true 100% of the time, whereas this one, after 150 rounds, it was garbage. So overall, I picked up the knockoff one to do a test to see, you know, did they actually manage to knock off Trijicon, and is this a viable product? No, it is not. It is terrible. Unless you're using this for airsoft or maybe a rifle that you don't really care about having it stay true, just don't get this. It's junk. It's terrible. It's useless. So stick with Trijicon, definitely. You get the warranty, you get a sight that actually stays true, and yeah, I know it's expensive, but it is definitely worth the money when compared to the cheap knockoff brand AliExpress. So that's my video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment in below and I can try to answer them. And yeah, so there you go.